Hello, everyone. I'm going to give you a quick overview of today's meeting of the Citizens' Assembly on Gender Equality. Today's meeting was in two parts. In the morning, we discussed the extremely important and unfortunately extremely topical issue of gender-based violence. And in the afternoon, we agreed on the Assembly's ballot paper on care. Taking gender-based violence first, the members had already viewed some pre-recorded presentations from a range of advocacy groups. So we began the meeting with an excellent presentation from Dr. Monica O'Connor of UCD. We then had a very lively and interesting question and answer session with members, and Dr. O'Connor answered a very interesting range of questions. This question and answer session has been recorded and the video is on our website, and I really urge you to watch it. After the presentation, the citizens moved into the breakout groups, and they were asked to consider recommendations to tackle gender-based violence and the harm that it causes. A number of groups called for a new centralised authority to deal with gender-based violence. Some called for a minister, and others for a new independent authority, which would be responsible for reporting to government and ensuring clear lines of responsibility and accountability for tackling gender-based violence. Some groups suggested that the current system of supports and information is too fragmented, so the new body could also act as a single focal point for providing advice and information to citizens. Turning to the online world, many members suggested that there's an urgent need for regulation to deal with sexual harassment and abuse online. And some of our breakout groups mentioned that the tech companies should be accountable for preventing this. There was also strong agreement on the broad need for education and awareness on gender-based violence, including in schools, homes, workplaces, societal and leisure settings. Reform of the court system was also highlighted, with members calling for stronger sentencing and more comprehensive supports for victims. This was only a small flavour of what was discussed today. Now the Secretariat will draft a ballot paper for citizens based on their discussions. Members of the Assembly will then decide on the recommendations they want to vote on in relation to gender-based violence, and that voting will be in April. Moving on to the discussion this afternoon, which was on the topic of care, members discussed a ballot paper which was prepared based on their discussions in January. And I'm glad to say that the ballot paper was agreed. It includes recommendations in relation to moving to a public model of childcare and changes to the system of paid leave for parents. Members also agreed that they will vote on improved terms and conditions for care workers, and the ballot paper will also have recommendations regarding resourcing and supporting independent living for older people and persons with disabilities, which reflect their personal choices about their own care. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how members will vote on these issues in April. And I'll remind you that our next meeting is on the 17th and 18th of April. Thank you for your attention.